Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to this short broadcast. My name is Mala and I'm a student of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. It's such a lovely topic I'm going to explore today, which is the silent observer, the sovereign mind. Now, we live in an age where information never stops, news never stops. We've no clue what is real, what is fake, and it flows incessantly, constantly, 24/7. Now, with especially 24/7 news channels, our phones, internet connections. So unlike the 60s or even the early 70s, television and news used to stop after a particular time. It's a watershed, 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and that's it. And you don't get to see or watch or hear anything till the next morning. But now that's not the case. And this incessant, constant news, it's pulling our attention in every direction. One moment we feel uplifted and there is wonderful news, and the next moment you're anxious and disturbed and fearful because of some other news. And the news keeps changing minute by minute. So the deeper question is, who is it that is being disturbed? This is where the practice of being the observer comes in. The observer is the part of us that watches, just watches without reaction, or at least without an immediate reaction. It is that quiet awareness behind our thoughts, behind our feelings. And when you're anchored in this space of watching, you begin to realize something powerful. And not everything you see, hear, or think deserves the attention, deserves my belief, or deserves my emotional investment. The power of discernment increases with this practice of just being that silent observer. The world may be noisy, but my inner state doesn't have to be. I hold the key. I hold that choice. And to live peacefully inside, we must cultivate this discernment. Initially, it's difficult because everything is pulling, and we've been used to being pulled by our feelings and emotions and reactions. But the spiritual wisdom of just going into that quiet space ever so often during the day, it deepens our power of discernment. And this power of discernment is that ability to distinguish between what is truth and what is appearance. It's not so much discerning the news, whether it's fake news or real news. The news doesn't really matter. But what is truth about me and about others? And what is the appearance? We are souls wearing a costume, playing our roles. That is the truth, and that is the appearance. And it'll also help us discern between what is essential and what is fleeting, what is truth, and what is the virtual reality around us. So it helps us ask this question, really ask the self, is this worth my energy? Is this thought true, coming from that place of truth, or is it just a habit? And does this bring me closer to the peace within, or am I moving away from it? Am I unnecessarily springing a leak in my fountain of peace inside? So without discernment, we consume, we become consumers of that noise outside and inside. And with discernment, we become the custodians of our consciousness. We become self-sovereigns. The goal is not to withdraw from the world, but to engage with it, but wisely. So we can read the news, participate in life fully, fulfill all our responsibilities, work, whatever, friends, family, but inwardly remaining steady, like the eye of a storm. And when we are established as the observers, even chaos takes on a different perspective. We begin to see that much of what disturbs the mind is temporary, it's exaggerated, it's basically irrelevant to the self, to the true self, to me and to others who are also souls. And slowly something shifts. One stops reacting and just starts responding. And we stop absorbing everything and we start to choose consciously. So a little story to illustrate this. There was a young seeker who went to a monk. And he said, my mind is constantly disturbed. Every piece of news, every noise, everyone's judgment, every opinion, every situation affects me. How do I find peace? And the monk handed him a mirror covered with dust and said, look at this. And the seeker replied, I can't see anything clearly. And the monk smiled and gently wiped a small part of the mirror clean and says, now look again. And now the seeker said, oh, I can see my reflection. And the monk explained, the mirror is your mind. The dust is everything you collect without discernment, news, opinions, fears, judgments, etc. And you think the world is unclear, but it is the dust that distorts your vision. And then the seeker asks, should I avoid the world then? And the monk shook his head and said, no, learn to clean this mirror regularly. And more importantly, remember, you are not the dust. You are the one who sees. So sit comfortably and gently observe the thoughts. Don't try and stop them, just watch them. Just watch the trajectory of a thought. It arises and it passes. Another comes and it goes. There is never a moment when a thought doesn't arise, or never a moment when a thought doesn't go. And just tell yourself, remind yourself, I am the observer. I am not the thought. I am not the emotion. And just becoming aware of that quiet space behind everything. Rest here for a while and continue this practice, because in this practice lies self-sovereignty over time. Thank you.